That is my intention. I hope it is yours.
Okay, I'll go with it. This is Kip's phrase. It comes from a little comment in my book when I was comparing the Berlin of the 1920s, which was weird, sexy, transgressive, very, very creative and very innovative, and was opposed to any institutional leadership or government support. And the Berlin of the 2000s, which has immense government support and lots of euros being poured into it, and is unbelievably dull. And it's a sort of warning, I think, of two sorts. One is that governments have to, who are usually well-intentioned, not always, but usually are, have to really rethink their relationship with us in trying to support and facilitate a creative ecology. They can't simply transfer the attitudes of mind and policies that they had for the old economy, the old way of thinking, and which is what they do, and transfer that over to the new way of thinking and hope it'll work. It won't wrong. In almost every respect, it is misguided. It's too top-down, it's too heavy, and it does expect that if it presses a button at the start of a process, that something will pop up at the end, which is how they used to build infrastructure, how they build schools and hospitals and roads. But it's not how you encourage the things that we've been talking about, and in particular, it's not really how you encourage the four factors that I've been talking about: learning and change and diversity and adaptation. So governments have to stop trying to be too instrumental and too predictive, and rethink their attitudes towards the way in which we, the citizens, have our ideas and work them through into our business.
Right. Laz?
I'd just say that when you're thinking about capability, think about the capabilities in a really focused way that actually shows you what can actually deal with the immediate conditions you need to keep. Then there's the capabilities that you actually need to develop that you don't know too much about. One set of capabilities you have a business model for. The other new capability doesn't come packaged with the business model. You know, we don't buy new ideas with the business model. It's generally a business muddle. Now, most businesses actually measure things very specifically. In the old adage, if you can't measure it, if you can't manage it, you can't measure it, you can't measure it, you can't manage it, goes out the window when you're talking about these sorts of things that really aren't about what we call hygiene capabilities or those things that you want to keep to a certain set of standards. It's the stuff that you don't want to keep to standards, the stuff that's not repetitive, that you've got no measures for. So you're going to have to deal with not measuring stuff on the way through, even if you are measuring some stuff. But whatever it is that you're actually doing, you've got to monitor all behaviour. So if you get myopic like this and say, what are our sustainability outcomes? What are our sustainability outcomes? What are our sustainability outcomes? And all of a sudden over here, there's all this other stuff that you're getting that you're not factoring in. You're not getting good bang for buck. So that'd be the first point I'd make, is watch the new measures aren't there yet, and I don't know if they'll ever be there. The other point I'd make, picking up on what John's saying, is, you know, this is an issue for regulators, because most regulators and most politicians, they have to have measured examples to work from. So you've got to make some decisions as to what that role of government's going to be, what stuff are they going to be happy to work with, what stuff you're going to have to collapse, what we call the biz civic, where you collapse them down and you actually have a mash-up. And it's a very clear muddle. And you live with it. That's the way it is. And you allow those sorts of organisational networks to actually come together to work on strategy and policy together, and then to go away and try and filter that back into the organisation without the government having to take a risk of making a fool of themselves or political mistakes and those sorts of things. So there is some things to be worked out how we do that, but that's one of the things we're going to have, is that some of these things are not intentional, they'll just happen. Some things you have to still be intentional about. And it's a capability issue that we have to work with based on the conditions that are actually coming at us at 1,000 miles an hour. So it's a very dynamic process that we have to work with there.
Great. Steve?
Well, with the risk of subjecting myself to intentionality, I did invite a few guests here today to support our creative efforts, and I call this resilience through consilience, in the sense of consilience is unity of knowledge, and we've pretty much got all the knowledge around the sides here that you could stand in one room. But I just wanted to point out a few people if that was okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Starting in the back, David Berman, the father of all social networks and gaming deals, and very interesting guy. Back in the left-hand corner, Bob Jinks, and he has several careers behind him as a VC and a telecom guy, but he's now a next-generation materials maestro. Sitting next to him is Tom Crowley. Tom is an old friend, a longtime entrepreneur and VC, knows everything about media and e-commerce. Next to him, Ryan Franco. Hey, Ryan. I'm just going to define you as a waste of energy guy today.
Wasted energy.
Yeah, wasted energy, that's it. Sitting next to Ryan is John Glass, and John is a longtime GE equity player, but with a particular expertise in virtual business models. Shona and John. Shona and John operate Fido. They're founders of Fido, which is Fierce Innovation and Design Online. And when you go and you participate in their innovation, you participate in their doghouse, which I think is a pretty interesting place. But they do this for a living, and we're happy to have you guys here today. Bill is here, Bill Gordon, Tetragenetics. Is Matthew here, Terenzio? Matt, how are you? Web 3.0, Dave Weiner, associate, and here to help us on new media. And then Ken Carbonda, I think, is in the room somewhere. Ken, how are you? Ken most recently ran innovation for LexisNexis and AOL, and a long history as a VC as well. So there are a couple of other folks. Lagu, are you still here? So we lost our global development guy, and we may have an urban farming person here. But anyway, the point is these are all really spectacular, world-class individuals, very expert in their area with a long history of investing in innovative ideas, and have a lot of trial and error behind them. So hopefully we can incorporate them into our overall discussion today.
And really great examples of the rich set of capabilities that are present in Stamford. When you guys move to fill in the gaps in the tables, please don't all go to one table. Spread yourself around. So we're going to do 10 minutes or so of Q&A, and then before we break into the small groups, Mark and Fred have handheld mics, so I'll call on you and then wait till they get there, Sandy, but wait till Fred gets to you. Because we're recording this. We videotaped the panel, and we're going to videotape the report out, and we are putting it up on YouTube, so this is a new to this event, and we will be recording your comments, so please.
This is for John. John? Hi. This morning when we met, you mentioned the Weimar Republic and the creativity and how you can't, Germany can't recreate it today. Well, where is that Weimar Republic creativity that was present 70 years ago today in the world, anywhere?